I asked if you were rich, how would you respond? Generally, the first thought is, how much money do I have in my bank account? Or do I have money in my bank account? Generally, that's our thought. That's the way of the world, and that's what the world wants us to think. But God, He doesn't think in terms of money. God's currency is love. God sees love. God sees the treasure that's within us. He sees the good that's in all of us. It's God's love that gives each of us value. Love's what gives you worth. It's what points to your mission. And without love, there is no purpose. There's no dollar amount in the existence of the world that equates to the love of God or how rich you feel when you have it. But what makes me so special? I mean, I'm carrying extra 30 pounds around. I ate cold pizza for breakfast. I lied to my friends about going out and working late tonight because I want to go home and watch Grey's Anatomy. But God doesn't see the bad things as bad, and He doesn't see the good things as good. He sees us as we are, a precious creation created by His Father, by God. He believes we're more precious than gold and silver. So this is why I feel rich when I embrace God's love. This is why I feel rich when my husband tells me that I'm beautiful, or that my daughters choose to spend time together. I feel rich. Or when I see my parents acting out and living out their faith, I feel rich for that example. When I see my friends and my family supporting one another in good times and in the not so good times, I feel rich because I know that God is present, and that makes me feel full. People say that, oh, I'm not rich in money, but I'm rich in things that money can't buy. Well, they're talking about God's love. They're talking about relationships. They're talking about things you can't put a price tag on. Or when somebody says, well, I'm not made of money, but my grandchild is priceless. Well, that's our way of giving people the understanding that money doesn't matter. It's those relationships that are worth more than any money in the world. You know, and there are several movies out there that talk about this, that have this as the main storyline. Generally, it's a person who's self-involved. They've got the condo in the city, the sports car that goes from 0 to 100 in seconds. They generally somehow get stuck in the middle of nowhere, or perhaps they lose everything because a deal gone wrong. Sometimes it's the Ebenezer Scrooge thought that they get visited, or they're dreaming, they get visited by the past, present, and future versions of themselves, and they help the character realize that it's not about the money or the status. It's about the relationships that you have along the way. It's a classic tale with the same ending, where the character comes to conclusion that there's nothing that money can't buy that you can't earn by spending time with one another. End scene. There are multiple people in the world, marketing experts, that will make you want to say, oh, well, if I have this, I'll be happy, or if I get that, I'll be able to show the world how important I am. But that doesn't provide for our needs. It's God. It's God that does the opposite for us. He provides us with what we need, not what we think we want. It's less glamorous, yes, but the riches are way more abundant. Look at it this way. Say you get that sports car and you're driving with the roof down or the top down 100 miles an hour down the Pacific Highway. Eventually you're going to run out of gas. And you know what? God's love doesn't. It's unending and unconditional.